As a business, have you ever expressed your culture in a written format? Does your business have a culture in the first place? Is that culture unique? Well, in this video, I discuss what a culture is, why it is important for a small business to have one, and I'll further explore how a small business like yours can start by building a culture that would benefit you. I'll be right back. Welcome back. My name is Raymond Huan, and if you own a business, you are interested in business, or you wish to learn more about the tips and tricks on how to run a business better, I encourage you to click on the subscribe button that you see before you right now. Culture is who we are as a company and how we do things. A Harvard Business Review article defines culture as a guide to discretionary behavior, and it picks up where the employee handbook leaves off. The company culture tells us how to respond to an unprecedented service request. It tells us whether to risk telling our bosses about new ideas and whether to surface or hide problems. Employees make hundreds of decisions on their own every day, and the culture of the business can be our guide. Culture tells us what to do when the CEO isn't in the room, which is, of course, most of the time. Brian Chesky, founder of Airbnb, similarly defines culture as simply a shared way of doing something with passion. Our culture is the foundation of our company. And so he says, so what determines culture? Culture is determined by your core values. Airbnb, Zappos, and Netflix, all US-based startups that have grown into pretty large businesses, all say the same thing, that culture is the embodiment of one's core values. Tony Hsieh, the founder of Zappos, says that it is necessary to come up with core values, essentially a formalized definition of our culture in order for us to continue to scale and grow. And core values are, as defined in the Netflix Culture Manifesto, it states that the behaviors and skills that we particularly value in fellow employees. These values determine who gets rewarded, promoted, or let go. So in a nutshell, culture is the way of doing things that is guided by what the company values. The company culture guides you on who you hire or even which clients you take on. Are you hiring someone who will work well with the team? Someone who shares the same values and beliefs as everyone else? In small businesses, hiring is usually done on a gut feel. And for most part, it'll work. But this can go sideways on a bad day, and having these values explicitly described in a statement provides one with something to reflect on during those days where the gut tends to send mixed signals. It also allows the team to retune one's focus. It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day operations of a small business. And a written statement is a great way to remind us of why we are doing what we're doing, and it's useful in getting everyone along the guided track. Great culture and having fun at the same time is one of the 4 traits a business requires to succeed in business. I've talked about this in my past videos, and the link of that video should appear before you right now. Please feel free to click on it and view that video. With Airbnb and Netflix, culture is determined by the top. The founders have a clear idea of what they value and what they want to see in the future of their company. But with Zappos, they didn't have any formal core values in the first 6 or 7 years of the company's history. So when Hsieh decided that it was time to put things on paper, Hsieh got everyone's input and put it in writing. Specifically, he sent an email to everyone in his team describing each core value in detail. Every new hire got the same email and were asked to sign a document signifying that they have read and they understood the value of that document. So should your company have a written culture? Well, the short answer is yes. The top companies of our time all have their company culture and core values spelled out and written down. This statement serves as a beacon, a reminder on how one should think and do, and guide when making decisions, particularly the tough ones. Culture, after all, is a way of doing things, and having it written down makes it easier for everyone to remember how things should be done. So what if you haven't written that culture down? Well, here are a few things that you can start doing right now. Firstly, write it down. For small businesses, the culture is very much determined by the owner. Where else to start doing that but you? What do you stand for? And what values do you hold sacred and important for your business? If you are a little unsure if you have everything covered, you can always do what Zappos Tony C did and ask everyone for their thoughts on it. This is easy if you have a small team, but if you're unsure whether to get everyone involved or how to go about doing it, why not talk to a handful of people in your team whom you trust and see what they think? If all else fails, get some help. Like many small businesses, the owners of Whole Kids Australia did not have their culture statement written down from the beginning. However, as business expanded, they decided that they needed to be explicit about their purpose and values, so they hired a consultant to help them formalize the statement. Most importantly, as a business owner, you need to champion these values. You live them every day. You hire people based on these values, and you decide who gets promoted based on these values and the ones who are also let go. If you're interested to know more about what a business has to go through when facing exponential growth, you can download the first chapter of the book, From 20K to 2 Million in 2 Years, absolutely free here. The chapter talks about the differences between a good and a great business and puts out questions to make you consider how you can turn your business from good to great. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to catching up with you again very soon.